national and international journals. He has also published 22 books, chapters published in different editorial books. Dr. Mishra sir has also written 17 popular articles published in both Odia and English. Dr. Mishra has made 117 presentations both at national and international level. So we cordially invite you, sir, for today's session.
Welcome, sir. Now, it is my privilege to introduce a recent personality who is none other than Professor Sarat Sinha, Madam. Madam is an educationist and currently okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, now it is the time for the lighting of lamp. As we know that a ray of light is a ray of hope. Let us all leave the darkness and step towards the bright path. Now, I want to request the guest, the honorable guest of this session, Dr. Aditya Kesari Mishra sir, to please come up and light the lamp. Sir, please.
Two students, please. One boy, one girl. One boy, one girl, please. Sir, sir.
Sir, it is
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, sir. Now, all are requested to please have their respected seats.
लाइव चालू से उनके साथ से ट्राइपॉड में मार ट्राइपॉड रखी नोची ट्राइपॉड के कोठी अछि सर कोठी अछि नहीं जरा एक এটা কি এটা সেটা চেক করে দিও সেটা একটু পরে এইট देख रहे मैडम देखिए
Ladies and gentlemen, now we have with us a pleasant personality who is joining us through online mode, who is none other than
नुआटा पठाओ अरे मैडम को पिन करो
समस्त आगे भरी हुई भलो हेलो नमस्कार हाँ सर सुनिए हाँ ठीक है सीधा क्लियर नहीं है लैपटॉप में करो क्लियर नहीं तुम आगे बस जाओ हाँ सर लैपटॉप में करो
Ladies and gentlemen, now we have with us a very pleasant personality who is none other than Professor Sharat Sinha Madam, who is joining us online mode. So, Professor Sinha Madam is an educationist and the currently head at the Department of Teacher Education NIE NCERT. With a remarkable career spanning over 30 years in renowned educational institutions, Professor Sinha Madam is a committed teacher, educator, known for her collaborative approach. In her current role as professor and head since December 2021, Professor Sinha Madam has been instrumental in elevating the quality of teacher education. She is actively engaged in collaborative research initiatives and various educational initiatives with key educational bodies including MOE, SCRTs, Depts, B.eds, contributing to the advancement of school and teacher education. Notably, Professor Sinha Madam has played a pivotal role in developing materials and modules aligned with crucial educational programs in the NCERT. Her proactive involvement extends to organizing need-based in-service and continuous professional development programs for teachers at various levels, both offline and online. As a respected member of various committees of NCTE, Professor Sharat Sinha Madam has significantly contributed in national initiatives including the National Mentoring Mission, National Professional Standards, and the development of guidelines for innovative integrated education programs.
लैपटॉप रो धरून कमा ए बादल
और जीवन से पड़े जाओ प्रोफेसर सरदा मैम हमें अड़ीबू ना Ma'am, please unmute your mic. Ma'am, please unmute your mic.
तुमने मैसेज दे दो मैसेज दे दो
कॉल कर
Ma'am, please unmute your mic, ma'am. Ma'am, please unmute your mic.
I have unmuted, but I cannot listen to what the people are speaking.
Ma'am, now it's audible?
No,
It's not audible?
not audible.
Okay, just a second.
ଇଆଡ଼େ ଇନପୁଟ୍ଟା ଯାଉନି
Now it's audible now?
ଆମର ଇଆଡ଼େ ଇନପୁଟ୍ଟା ଯାଉନି କାନାଡ଼ା ଆସୁଛି ତ ମାଇକ୍ରେ ପଚାରିଲେ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ମାଇକ୍ରେ ପଚାରିଲେ
Now it's audible now? Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, are you getting my voice? Hello. You know, anyone listening to you? Ma'am, are you getting my voice?
ସେପଟେ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଯୋଉ କହୁଛନ୍ତି
Yes.
ଏଠି ମାଇକ୍
you can speak.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now we have with us a very pleasant personality who is none other than Professor Saran Sinha Madam.
इंटरफेरेंस सब बंद कर दियो मोबाइल
So, who is joining us online? Please give a huge round.
मोबाइल आपकी लॉगिन करो नहीं नाले इंटरफेरेंस सब करके क्या हो
Professor Saran Sinha Madam is an educationist and currently head at the Department of Teacher Education.
गोटे रूम रे मल्टीपल चैनल रे इंटरफेरेंस हबो जो माने मोबाइल रे सुनिया पे चाहजो प्लीज बाहर रूम को जाई के करो डिस्टेंस
Please mute all your mics. Please mute all your mics.
Professor Saran Sinha Madam is an educationist and currently head at the Department of Teacher Education, NIE, NCRT, with a remarkable career spanning over with a remarkable career spanning over 30 years in renowned educational institutions. Professor Sinha Madam is a committed teacher educator known for her collaborative approach. In her current role as a professor at hand since December 2021, Professor Sinha Madam has been instrumental in elevating the quality of teacher education. She is actively engaged in collaborative research initiatives and various educational initiatives with key educational bodies, including MOE, SCRTs, Diets, B.eds, contributing to the advancement of school and teacher education. Notably, Professor Sinha has played a pivotal role in developing materials and modules aligned with crucial educational programs in the NCRT. Her proactive involvement extends to organizing need-based in-service and continuous professional development programs for teachers at various levels, both offline and online. As a respected member of various committees of NCTE, Professor Saran Sinha Madam has significantly contributed to national initiatives including the National Mentoring Mission, National Professional Standards, and the development of guidelines for innovative integrated teacher education programs. Prior roles in the RFSA project cell at NCRT showcase Professor Sinha's expertise in enhancing access to secondary education and improving its quality. She actively participated in curriculum development, learning achievement surveys, and teachers' professional development aligned with national, social, and pedagogic concerns. with an illustrious career encompassing roles such as Associate Professor at DERPP, NIE, and Leader in Education at RIE Ajmer, Dr. Sharat Sinha, Madam, has consistently demonstrated a passion for education. Dr. Sinha, Madam, for a multifaceted contribution to teacher education, curriculum development, and quality improvement in secondary education position her as a dynamic leader and a driving force in shaping the future of education of India. So, we cordially welcome you, ma'am, in this beautiful session. Welcome, ma'am. Please give a huge round.
Sound absent, madam. Sound absent. Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I want. Okay. Can we start?
Yes, ma'am.
So, today, I understand that today is the second day of this national seminar on education of scheduled classes, which is a step taken in the Department of Teacher Education of Vikram University, Jaipur. And I saw the timetable of the program schedule yesterday, and you have a lot of honorable guests and from various universities, from Dept Institute of Education, Bhubaneswar, and many reputed personalities from IGNOU, PMIAC, Sambalpur, etc. So I am happy to be with you. I am happy to be in this second day, which is the session. There is a lot of voice which is causing disturbance. There is a lot of background noise which is causing disturbance. I think many mics are there which are open. Other mics, if you just happen to close them, that would be better. There are many people who are online and maybe their mics are on. That is the reason the voice is echoing. So I am not able to, whatever I am speaking, I am also not able to listen back. I am putting my earphones. So I would request all those who join online to put off their mic and listen. So thank you, Dr. Pradhan, for having me here. And as we were talking, the topic for today is multilingual education of tribal children, and multilingual education and education of tribal children. And I went through the timetable, I saw a lot of interesting papers on the topic. So multilingualism is something which is being talked about almost much before the policy also. And languages have been very, very important medium for communication from any teaching learning material. So languages are very important, all of us know. When we say that education is an enabling factor for economic development, all of us understand the meaning of this statement. But it is argued that language is the enabling factor for assessing quality, access to quality education. That means we understand the importance of language. It has been widely said that if there is a mismatch between language and school language, then this neglect of mother tongue forces children into subtractive language learning. And in the form of servant education in the dominant language. This is by a study, research study, very important research study quoted by Mr. Jindal, who is in the subject of language education. And he has carried out a lot of studies, and particularly his studies about disadvantaged groups and the disadvantage the students have when they do not know the languages. In just 2005 he carried out a study, and the results of the study, they speak of the double disadvantage of the children having new academic information and concepts. And whenever the concepts are given only, it appears that they are told to them on some unfamiliar language. You do not know whether it is useful or not, for the children do not know. And this fieldwork spread over 4 states, that is Assam, Gujarat, Odisha and Madhya Pradesh. It shows that if the tribal children are schooled in the second language submersion program for about 6 months, they show no comprehension of the business language. They did not recognize the alphabet. It was true for all these 4 states, that is Assam, Gujarat, Odisha and Madhya Pradesh. They could only learn what they were doing in 6 months if they are putting something in some order. Like there is one alphabet in order, there is second comes, like first in order comes a diary, second in alphabet comes a fourth, third in alphabet comes, a third in picture comes. So they only remembered the sequence of words which were shown. They did not remember anything what the words were telling them. Because, and this is subsequently led to only rote memorization. So classroom professors as such emphasize lot of participation. But not only where they use copying the alphabets from the blackboard and writing down in their notes. See, this situation, when in this research study was also found, this situation was better where the tribal teacher was into operation and he or she used the mother tongue, that is language one of the children. And he or she could unofficially translate the language in which the books were written or the medium of instruction was there. But there was medium of instruction was some other language, that is Telugu, but he could translate it to the mother tongue. So slight comprehension improvement was shown in those cases. So it is the policy, a national education policy, debating that it advocates the promotion of multilingualism. That multilingualism is that for preserving the linguistic diversity of the country. We all will be, I am sure that in the last few days, there must be a lot of papers in which you must have come to know that how many languages are in the country. So I was going around yesterday for preparing for this lecture. I went to 6 All India Education Survey. That was through National Council of Educational Research and Training at CRT. And it showed that there are 41 languages used in schools. And only 13 of them are tribal languages. But one from northeastern state, that is Nicobar, and had much higher concentration of tribal population compared to the rest of India. The literally figures of ST groups are much higher in the northeastern states. Incidentally, these states also record a better rate of economic development. Out of the 13 languages being taught in the tribal school, only 3 or 4 are regularly used in these 13 recorded tribal languages, only 3 or 4 are used as a medium of instruction. Right? And this is quite striking. There are large number of classrooms in the country which have sizable population of tribal children. In 20, according to the UDICE data, in 20 states, so a database, this is the database of Ministry of Human Resource Development, there are 1,03,609 primary schools from grade 1 to 5, about 50%, that is 76,458 schools in more than 75% schools have 90% ST children. And they are part of the submersion program of minority language education. So we do not have there are very much more data. And I was wondering that especially we have taken from ST children. But when I look into the data, I find that the number of languages in our country are mind-boggling. More so, the different settings which are in our country, that is also leading towards promotion of multilingualism. Right? So, like over 10,000 mother tongues in our country. I am sure this data must have been shared because this is an official data of the government of India. Over 10,000 mother tongues which have been named by the respondents in 1991 survey. It's an old survey. 3,372 out of 1,576 languages and 1,796 were grouped into other mother tongue categories. Mother tongue, 3,370 is the mother tongue and 1,796 is the other. The mother tongues are variously classified into 300 to 400 languages and they are further classified into 5 language classes. The language scenario in our country is very diverse and complex. The 8th Schedule of Constitution of India says English is recognized as associate official language. Large number of languages are used in various national domains, that is 104 languages for radio broadcasting, as well as adult literacy program. 87 languages are used for print media and 67 languages are used in primary education. These figures are so daunting, they not only point to mega diversity, but also brings India at rank 4 in the world in terms of the languages which are used. This was studied by Kangas in 2000. So multilingualism in our country is unique, not only because of the presence of number of languages in different spheres of social life, but the dynamics of relationship between these languages also. See, the manner in which these languages are organized in the society and the way they are reflected in our daily life of the common people all over the country make it because of language use in a quite distinct and dominant, which is quite distinct and dominant from monolingual society. And let me tell you, I came across a very, very interesting article in the newspaper a few days. And I just like to read out to you. And somehow it created by interest, and I think today I should speak about it. Just came in I just read that article. It was in Hindi, and I was amazed to read that why we are synthesizing so much of languages, why our own mother tongue is not only sufficient. See, I came across a newspaper and I just clicked the photograph. It says, दो भाषाएं बोलने से याददाश्त और मानसिक स्थिति बेहतर बनी रहती है. And this was a study carried out in the Columbia University and by a group of neurophysicists. They said that people who know 2 or more than 2 languages, their cognitive decline, Alzheimer, all these type of things are delayed. They have better memory focus, they have better decision making capacity, and this test was done on 13 to 30 people from 13 to 30 years and 30 to 65. So people who knew more than 2 languages, they showed lesser chances, they are at lesser risk of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's, and better neuroplasticity also. So this created a lot of interest in my mind that what is neuroplasticity and why is that language is related to neuroplasticity. So when I tried to Google and find, I found that neuroplasticity, is anyone of us aware of neuroplasticity? If not, you could just Google it. See, whenever any information goes to our brain, what happens, we perceive that information. It goes into short-term memory or a long-term memory. But neuroplasticity is the capability to assimilate that information. Different type of information, new type of information, understand and comprehend. So can you think that which students would have maximum measured neuroplasticity? Well, to cut the long story short, I would say that there was a study carried out in, if you think it is a technician, the answer is no. If you think it is a doctor, the answer is no. If you say it is a lawyer, the answer is no. The profession which has the maximum, the highest recorded neuroplasticity is a taxi driver of New York. Because New York is a city which is very complex. And now this study was done long before Google Maps had come. Right now you can go to any corner, anywhere by setting Google Maps on your phone or on your car. But those taxi drivers in New York, which has इतनी सारी उसमें छोटे-छोटे lanes, by lanes, they remember everything. For that matter of fact, our city like Mumbai also. So when neuroplasticity was measured, it was found that they remember each and every corner and turn to the least detail. And then how to see that some brain has better neuroplasticity. That is, there's a part of our brain that is called as hippocampus. We have lobes in the brain. The left one is responsible for different functions. The right lobe is active. If the left lobe, you're more into creative. Right lobe, you're more into other cognitive functions, so on and so forth. And the hippocampus is the one which is related to getting information, processing information, retaining information for longer duration of time. So the heaviest hippocampus was found in this vaccine diabetes. That makes an interesting sense. Now, when we have started after 40, we often benefit from quality. So when we talk about how to do this, somebody says we do meditation. Somebody says we learn some new hobby. But the first in the list comes, let's start learning another language. Start learning a few words of a new language every day. It's not the entire vocabulary, some useful. So, multilingualism comes of rescue to many things. Many dependency of many things, I would say. So, bilingual advantage hypothesis was something which was given. That is, it has more social and cultural benefits, better for interpersonal communication, for cultural appreciation, and many studies have come out which shows that academic achievement is also associated with higher academic achievement is associated with multilingualism. And multilingualism also gives competitive edge. So for various people in various career options. So while I have been trying to tell you the importance of multilingualism, it is for everyone, be it to the general category child or a ST child. It is more so important because scheduled tribes people have their own very specific languages which need to be preserved. Now, national education policy emphasizes the importance of multilingualism. And it also says that it's a key component of education. Some key components in the national education policy, which I'm sure that all of you must have read, and particularly in context with this seminar, that is an advocate for the promotion of multilingualism and the preservation of linguistic diversity. It also recognizes that multilingualism is a crucial aspect of cognitive development and cultural development. Then on the topic of mother tongue or local language as a medium of instruction, the policy recommends that medium of instruction, particularly at primary level, should be the mother tongue or local language wherever possible. Now this brings a lot of challenges given teachers' education and teachers, which I will be in the later part. And this approach aims to ensure better understanding, better participation, and better retention of the concept amongst the students. Anything spoken in our mother tongue, we remember. But if it is in an alien language, it gives you double effort. You have to understand and then remember in a different language. So it also talks about the flexible language learning. It's not that by promoting mother tongue or local languages medium of instruction, it also encourages that the student should learn multiple languages, including regional, national, and international language. It could be based on their needs, interests, and aspirations. Now, three language formula is also reaffirms commitment to the three language formula, which was earlier used in our country throughout. That is proficiency in mother tongue, a regional language, and is spoken. So, we have a mother tongue, the regional language, and what is spoken. It could be Hindi, it could be English, or it could be very modern Indian language. So, this formula was designed very carefully to facilitate communication across the entire linguistic diversity within the country. Now, the policy has also highlighted Sanskrit and the importance of Sanskrit and other classical languages also in order to preserve India's rich cultural heritage and recommend their promotion and preservation. Yesterday I came across an article which mentioned that there is, you must have known that when you visit some monument or historical monument, you see lot of things people in some other script. अलग-अलग लिपि में कुछ लिखा रहता है, and which you do not comprehend. When we were unused to the historical palace in our village, when we were one, and there something was scribbled on the pillar. Then हम लोग बोलते थे कि ये ना खजाना है इस पेड़ में, ये इस खजाने का कोड वर्ड है. So now yesterday somebody with the use of artificial intelligence has deciphered the script written pyramids of Egypt. So languages, languages, dialects do not have script. But now multilingualism merging has a game changer. So policy has rightly emphasized this, the importance, and then multilingualism in curriculum and pedagogy also. The policy advocates the intersection of multilingualism in curriculum design, the various teaching materials, the supporting teaching materials apart from textbook and supplementary materials, and various pedagogical practices, and to ensure inclusive and effective education for all learners. See, you will not have all the three learners in the class, learners in the classroom with the same. So if a teacher speaks an eclectic mix of languages or understands, the teacher who speaks only he or she understands the language. So if that eclectic mix of languages is there for the whole classroom, then it feels left out. That teacher is my language also, and also it aids in understanding of the children. This is what policy pointed out, and overall this policy underscores the significance of multilingualism in education and talks of a language inclusive approach that respects, celebrates, and includes diversity, and while preparing students for globalization. So now, what are the challenges which the teachers have to face, or the teacher education program have to face when we talk of any aspect which we talk about in the policy? We, as a teacher educator, and look from the teacher education perspective. Now, how teacher education will address this challenges, and what we can do to address this challenges? I will just take up some point. That is, we have to be ready as teachers. We have to be ready to be prepared to work with students in future variety of knowledge. So that means we should develop the capabilities of understanding their languages. If not, we should find some ways to understand. And then we also need to look into linguistic background. You know, the word, many words which are used in languages as words of education may not be regarded as different languages. So you have to be very well aware of the linguistic background of the student and learn to handle it sometimes. That is going to increase the burden, I would say a burden or workload of the teacher, not burden. Then we have to look into various language acquisition strategies. Like we end up throughout our life learning one language, that is our mother tongue, and using some other language that is English or Hindi, apart from our mother tongue. Now, language acquisition strategies have changed over the years. We have to find out effective strategies. Now, there are so many apps which have come up. You can see in the app store of your mobile. There are so many apps which have come up, and you can learn. Whenever a diplomat goes to an ISS in the foreign service, the link is placed in another country. They are given a thorough course in the language of that country. When an IAS officer of North India is placed in Tamil Nadu or Kerala, they know the functional language. So how is that they learn very fast? Earlier it was said that when a child speaks every language because they are both learning is better. But all those people who qualify for IAS are above 20. Now how do they learn it so fast? Because they have to see the land records, they have to see the font reading, everything they have to see in the local language. And they become proficient very fast. They may not be able to speak, but they understand. They have to listen to local people's problems, they have to understand. So what is that modern language acquisition? That is something that we teacher educators need to explore and give a place to our teacher education system, so that if a teacher of Kerala is placed in West Bengal, or say for example in Odisha, they become proficient with the local content and local language. So this element has to count somewhere in our teacher education program. There are many softwares like one I am also using Duolingo. So I try to learn French because there is no French and the colors I do left out. So I try to find out those words I students that I am doing. And what I do is I try to listen. If the pronunciation will speak and it's in my mobile. Speaks the correct pronunciation and certain words that is common way in common language to use. What are you doing? What is the noun? Use the boy, use the girl. Just like we teachers want to learn. So this is how and you can, if you go to a different class, not to the South Indian comes to North India, all languages are available on that app. So this is that zero cost. They are going to create absolutely, they are very specific apps. Not subscription certified or this so learning the language always fails. It's very fails. So what the future education system has to develop, number one, that you have to explore various quick language acquisition styles, right? And to take structures or provide them scaffolding and support a language-rich environment around the child in the classroom, in the teacher education program. Then, what's cultural background also needs to be understood, which everyone cannot even by knowing the language, it's not necessary. We understand, we learn a few words of the language, it's not necessary that we know the language components. We develop the language components. So what we have to do that, but we have to evolve in terms of cultural components also. So the teacher needs to empathize, the teacher needs to know the background of that language also. So history of language, language culture, these are some of the subjects which the NCT talks in the integrated teacher education program, that is value added course. Every some of the teacher education. So value-added courses of the first credit or two credits, our teacher educators can develop those who are good at languages. They could develop, or particularly language teachers could develop 2 credit or 4 credit courses, which could be value-added courses also, which could help the teachers also, which could add to their content of education, which the teachers can do. The other thing which the teachers need to do is the curriculum adaptation. One great problem which we have that is the instructional strategy, when we are using instructional strategies for multi-language students, we need to evolve a lot of strategies. Strategies could be the same, but they have to be culturally relevant, linguistically accessible, and contextualized. That means we need to develop a great understanding of language across areas. Again, this is a challenge for teacher educators that when this has to be developed, whether it has to be developed while working with different type of students or while it has to be a part of the teacher education program that has to be safe. Now, since our teacher education curriculum is very soon going to be launched, so you need to see that it has a place like that. And whenever all of us as teacher educators have a chance, we could raise this issue on various forums for derivation and implementation. Because it is very important to understand the cultural background. Then comes the, if you are assessing somebody in a different level. So when we are using the traditional form of assessment, it may not accurately measure the linguistic ability of bilingual students. So, your method of assessing children or students in various linguistic abilities have to be developed. So, we have to evolve additional forms of assessment for this area. And further coming to that, the professional development is also very crucial. Professional development of teachers for learning, we have so many programs. We have programs in pedagogy, we have programs in gender, inclusion, technology, education, so on and so forth. But we need to have more programs on linguistic integration or professional development, best practices for implementing multilingualism in the classroom. That gives us a chance to share about universal finance and payments forums for multilingualism, exchanging strategies even with our colleagues, with all our entire education community, and in our own teaching practices. We also require for this, we require if you are doing something, if the policies and resources are not supporting, you would not be able to do it in right spirit. So we require supportive policies also in our educational institution at place and collaboration with communities also. Even communities should be sensitized that if we are speaking in your language and we are trying to speak in other language also, that is we are not disrespecting the language. We are making your language easier and our experiences. That is one thing. And one last thing, this also gives rise to various, when we come to this challenges, by prioritizing the needs of multilingual students and providing teachers with necessary knowledge and support, teacher education programs could better prepare educators to meet the demand of today's linguistically diverse classroom. This also brings me to picture lot of opportunities for people, opportunities for teacher educators to come up with very much new edu startups for developing languages, for addressing linguistic diversity, for conversion, for translation, of course, AIS coming a big way, for translation. Many apps have come up which do translation very quickly, that helps us. But definitely, let AI come, let anything come, let any supported thing come, unless and until the teacher, it is rooted into the teacher. The teacher knows the importance of multilingualism, and respect various language and is able to communicate to the students about the importance of multilingualism, which is not going to work. So I congratulate all the organizers for taking up such an important topic which needs a lot of realization, because there is a lot of confusion on multilingualism. At various forums we go, different things are talked about, different perceptions come, different perceptions differ. And we feel that we need a nation-long and wide and longer definition as to how. Because in the 12th class, National Curriculum Framework for School Education, we talk in the secondary classes, you will have subject choices. You will have a basket of subjects, including languages also. So choosing this, how are you going to implement it? How is it going to be practically implementable in various kinds of schools? And how do those tribal languages who are on the verge of extinction, but there are many speakers, how could they be brought into the forefront, and how could people with those languages who feel let down when they go to a different city, when they go to a different profession, they are not able to communicate despite of knowing the best among all those workers. They are just too shy to communicate in their language. So all these apprehensions could be put at bay, and how could we do better? Our teachers, the entire teacher education community has validate, gear up, and provide food. So thank you, and that's all from my side today. If any questions are there, I'm ready.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful deliberation. It's very impressive and also thought-provoking. Ma'am, you have highlighted on the lingual aspect of the tribal students. At the very opening point of your deliberation, you have highlighted that there should not be any distinction between the language of the school and the language of the student. I think that is quite impressive. And in that particular context, you have rightly mentioned that our MEP 2020 has highlighted on this particular dimension, this multilingual dimension, and also the local language. Okay, and you have also discussed not only the method of teaching, but also the method of assessment. And more importantly, you have also discussed about the teachers. They need to reorient themselves towards the language of the tribal students. I think that is fantastic, I can say. Now, ma'am, this hall is having more than 100 students and also maybe 30 delegates. So I will now open the floor for discussion. If the students have some, or the delegates have some question, I think they can raise certain questions or observations. Over. Yeah. Any students? Any question, dear students and dear delegates? Before they come on the question, I am having one observation. Actually, I was mindlessly listening to your lecture now. It's very interesting. Though I am a learner of sociology, I practice sociology, I teach sociology, but I used to do work on education also. But you have rightly mentioned about what to do so far the teachers are concerned. But I just came to know that what should be the modality in enhancing this multilingual practice so far the students of tribals are concerned, because within the tribal society we also find the diversity of languages. So could you please, ma'am, explain more about what can be done, or what will be the possible modality in developing this multilingual education system in tribal areas? Over to ma'am.
The first thing, very rightly is, as I mentioned, the number of tribal languages and the number of languages in the country, the number is 540. So what inhibits the people from propagating that language further or sticking to that language further is non-availability of curricular material in that language. So the first thing is that we should have teachers, as propagator of the language, we should try to make available. See, why everybody is switching to English? Because all the literary classics, they are translated into English, whether they are in French, whether they are in any other language. But that is not done so in our tribal languages. So in absence of availability of the literature in those languages, what happens? It even forces a person with a tribal language to shift to Odia or to shift to other languages. So there is a lot of shift in the mind, and again, why I talked about the concept of neuroplasticity, because not every brain is that neuroplastic. So that switch over may be easier for some. It may not be that easier for some. Okay? So the first thing is making available the literature, curricular material, textual material in all the possible languages which we can do. And that only a teacher can do. Like recently, NCERT prepared primers into Odia languages, Kui language, and this graduate or something. So we brought about NCERT along with experts of both areas. NCERT brought about these two primers. So there is a widespread demand from so many tribal communities that that all the books of NCERT should also be translated into these, at least till the foundation and first level, primary level, right? So this is a widespread challenge. When we have the book, people will change over. Modalities could be many. It is orientation of teachers, availability of literature, policy support, infrastructure support, institutional support, and various career opportunities to take up that language. Right? It is a multi-pronged strategy that has to be followed. It won't happen overnight, but all of us have to think on that first.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind response. Any question, dear students or delegates? Maybe we will be contacting you, ma'am. Students may be in touch with you. They will be, because they are the learners, and they will be sending their queries if there is anything. Ma'am, once again, thank you for your wonderful dedication.
Thank you so much. Namaskar and Jai. Mary.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dear participants and the presenters in this session, apart from two key speakers, Professor Sarada Sinha and Professor Gurudwaj Bali. I think Professor Gurudwaj Bali may not be presenting. He's having some work. Now we are having 12 presentations. I will read out the names, and may I know the participants who are present online now. The first name is Ajay Kumar Behera. Are you available?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am available, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. And the second one is Jagarjivan Sathi. Are you available? Jagarjivan Sathi. Absent.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. I am available.
Okay. Good. And the third one is Akanksha Parmani.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And the fourth one, Dr. Hitanshu Bhushan Pati. Hitanshu Bhushan Pati. Are you available? Okay. Then fifth, Satyajit Baral.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Then Niharwala Majhi.
Yes, sir, present.
Okay, good. Then Dr. Nimai Charan Malik.
Yes, sir, I am present.
Then Dr. Ramakrishna Das.
Namaste, sir, present.
Okay, good. K. Santosh Kumar Rao. Are you available? No. Okay, good. Dr. Sabita Mishra.
Yes, sir, present.
Okay. Mr. Gyana Behera. Sorry, Gajanan Behera.
They are coming.
Okay.
And
And
they will have a physical presentation.
okay. And the last one, Kalyani Bagar. Okay. Right. So out of 12 participants, we are having 11 participants who are present. Yeah.
Principal Adarsh Vidyalaya.
Okay, so 12 presentations were, and right now the time is 10:25, and we have to wind up the session by 11:30. That means we have 1 hour left. So in this 1 hour left, perhaps we can go for 5 minutes presentation. Is that okay with all of you? So participants are kindly requested to throw their main ideas in the presentation. Maybe their findings or the major argument or any suggestion or concluding remarks that they can present, and the timing is 4 minutes presentation. Then after 4 minutes I will just give one reminder. So please keep in mind that you need to present your presentation in 5 minutes time. Now without wasting any time, I will now call the first presenter of this technical session. He is Mr. Ajay Kumar Behera. He will be talking about significance of mother tongue based multilingual education program for teacher learners in Odisha, a true reality. Over to Mr. Ajay Kumar Behera.
Thank you, sir. Sir, may I show the slides?
You are audible, please go ahead.
Sir, may I show the slides?
Could you please go for explain that will better, because 5 minutes time.
Okay, sir. Good morning to all of our present over there. Honorable Chairperson of the technical session, other delegates who are present over there, students, teachers, and my dear participants. Yes, my topic is mother tongue based multilingual education with significance to the tribal students, a true reality. Professor Sinha ma'am, some of the major parts of this mother tongue based multilingual education. We have already mentioned some of the important parts of this multilingual education. Now I just only point out the main points as per the chairperson has already told. Yes, the mother tongue based multilingual education significance for the tribal students in this way. As if we see the 2011 census data, the literacy rate of tribal students is only 28%. In comparison to state tribal literacy, it is 73.5%. As per the EUDICE report 21-22, the percentage of dropout rate of scheduled child students is 0. And this might be happened due to some of the interventions taken by our government, just like the free textbooks, uniforms, and one of the major interventions is that multilingual education program, which has been implemented in our states from the year 2006 and 7. And when I remark from the rationale of this mother tongue based multilingual education. First, the SME department, government of Odisha, has been implemented this program in 2 phases. In first phase, it has been implemented in 10 languages, and in second phase, in the year 2013 and 14, it has been implemented in extended to 11 other languages. So in this way, the MLD program has been implemented in our state in all about the 51 tribal languages, in 7 districts, and in 1485 schools. Now the point is that, what is this mother tongue-based multilingual education? As per the UNESCO defines, MTBML requires the use of the mother tongue as a language of instruction in the classroom. However, it is not about restricting to national and international languages. Rather, we can say that mother tongue-based multilingual education is the use of this mother tongue and 2 or more additional languages as the language of instruction. There are some other studies conducted on this particular area. They have given some of the definitions of scientific ability. I will not go for this. Next, how it is significant? Yes, it is significant because it improves the learning of the tribal students. The students, as per the NEP 2020 recommendation, as Professor Sinnaman already told, that at least up to the grade 5, the students should be taught through their mother tongue. So, when the students learn by using their mother tongue, they can improve their learning, or it will help them to learn the other language. The second one is it can improve their academic performance. Yes, if the students learn through their mother tongue, they can understand the subject better very easily. Help them to understand, improve their academic performance. It can also develop their social, personal, and cultural identity. It also supports their intercultural understanding and inclusion. The other significance is that it increases the attendance and retention rates in tribal schools. Yes, if the students learn through their mother tongue, it can increase their retention and tribal rates. This is the result as 21-22 UDAS report. The stronger their literacy skills and also empower their participation. And also it is significant for the cultural heritage. It can preserve the cultural and traditional heritage of the tribal community. The learning in multiple languages, MTBML program enables the students of tribal students to use different languages for success in school and for lifelong learning. And also it will reduce the dropout rates. As per the report I have already told with all of you. Now the next one is when MLD is implemented in our states in 17 districts, what are the challenges faced to this MLD program? There are so many studies conducted in this area. The first thing is that lack of coordination between the 2 administrative departments, that is SST department and school environment. This department has a lack of coordination. As a result of which, the teachers, the stakeholders face the problems. Then the shortage of teachers. Yes, there is a shortage of teachers in the tribal schools, which is a great concern for all of us. Then the irresponsibility of MLD teachers in the residential schools. Yes, where the authorities given some assignment to them to do or to practice in the school, they just excludes them to do another class. Then there is the language problem faced by the students in the initial period. Yes, the students, the teachers who are appointed in that school, they don't use the languages of the tribal students, which is a matter of concern for them. Then the adequate number of classrooms. Yes, MLD is implemented in our state, but there is not so much type of classroom in the MLD schools. The lack of proper hostel facilities in case of residential schools, poor educators, school management, classroom resources, including textbooks and assessment. As Professor Sinnaman already told that, if the curriculums or if the resources available in the tribal languages. It will help them to improve their learning. Then the modalities of instruction, as the chairperson sir already asked this question to Professor Sinha, he has clearly mentioned about this. The modalities of instruction is one of the challenges while implementing this program. Now here I concluding remarks. Since MTBMLE program was implemented in schools, there has been a rise in indigenous children attendance and consumption. Children are now more interested in the teaching learning process, but mother tongue education is used in the schools. It is in this way the tribal arts, the tribal cultures, all are seen in the research room. There is a yellow color, there must be a yellow color in every English schools. The tribal arts, tribal museums are put in that schools. Well, in November 2011, NCRT has conducted a evaluation report study, and the findings of the study found that it is the mother tongue based education has positive impact by the English curriculum on the learning of the students. So with this my presentation, I am concluding here. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ajay Kumar, for speaking and the different programs of this multilingual education. So thank you once again. Now I will go to the second presentation. Yeah, second presentation, that is Jagajivan Sethi, and he will be presenting on quality education in tribal pockets, issues and challenges. Over to Jagajivan Sethi.
Sir, I like to go with Odia because there are a few more months for me, so I can proper.
किसी असुविधा नहीं, ओडिया रे कहीं पर
Sir, तो sir, मैं पता है प्रथम विश्व भाषा सम्मेलन में अटेंड करी थी, तो सेले बढ़िया जो हमारा जैन चौधरी लैंग्वेज में थी, एमती की दरम्यान बेचला एटी होता, तो मैंने उन्हें इंस्टा हाईलाइट करी थी, जे लाइक ब्लड फॉर ह्यूमन स्क्रिप्ट इज फॉर लैंग्वेज. स्क्रिप्ट रो गुरुत्व रही थी, अलग अलग 12टी लैंग्वेज रही थी, ट्राइबल लैंग्वेज ओडिशा रे, ताकि केमती हमें डेवलप कर पाए से विषय रे वर्णना करथिले. सेठी से बोले जो लिंग्विस्टिक हम जो डिस्ग्राफिया कथा कहउछले पिला कि बुझी पारुछे किंतु ता भाषा से राइट आउट कर पारो. तनु हमें तार स्क्रिप्ट को प्रोत्साहन देबा एवं स्क्रिप्ट इभालुएटर जोटा कथा कहले से विषय रे एबी होता रिटायर्ड आईएएस ऑफिसर एंड ग्रेट जायंट इन ट्राइबल. And he also mentioned about the UNESCO linguistic language कथा कहले जे UNESCO गोटे मैप तैयारी करे से विषय में प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत सुंदर भाव हेता. लैंग्वेज रो मृत्यु घटुछि, एवरी लैंग्वेज ड्यू टू स्क्रिप्ट रो अभाव होछि. तेणु कर हमें प्राइमरी स्तर रो स्पेशल बुक्स करिबा, तासे ताउ किछि सला इकोसिस्टम रो डेवलप करिबा. ट्राइबल एजुकेशन एथि पई कि करने जेतु ता पई इकोसिस्टम नै. फॉर एग्जांपल मोर फील्ड स्तर रो देखिले जदि हम गाँ को जने गोटे वीडियो बा तहसीलदार आसते आमे भाबुछ कि से भगवान आसते बहुत दूर आसते, किंतु आम भीतर जदि जने कि हे जाए तले भाबते जे हां ई त हम गाँ पिलाटा हे गेला आमे कि हे पारे. ए जो जिनसडा इकोसिस्टम ऑफ एजुकेशन ट्राइबल माने एरिया ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन बहुत अभाव रहे. तापर सेकंड थिंग होला जो 5G ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन चली थी ओडिसा रे जे कोनोसी जो प्रोग्राम कथा कहै छै जे बहुत सारा प्रशंसा होछि जे ओडिसा होल्ड्स द स्टेरिंग ऑफ एजुकेशनल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. बट ए जिसटा बहुत सुंदरली कोट करा जाउछि जे केवल रिसोर्स इक्वालिटी कथा कहै जाउछि, समस्त को 5 लाख टका बा 10 लाख टका देइ देबार व्यवस्था रहछि, किंतु कैपेसिटी इक्वालिटी कथा हमें प्राय तो डिस्कशन करना है. अमर्त्य सेन करे से कैपेसिटी इक्वालिटी थ्योरी कथा हम कहबा जे एजुकेशन रो सबुठु बड़ सुंदर दिग होला जे पिला को कैपेबल करबा. किंतु आमे जो रिसोर्स इक्वालिटी कथा रहि जाय छथि ताको आमे मोर अबिके एम्फेसिस करबा जे ट्राइबल एरिया रे भी आमे कैपेबल करबा सोना जे प्राइमरी जे आमे प्रथम जनरेशन माने हम जो स्टूडेंट्स आसुछन्ति सेमाने को जो 100 वर्ष 200 वर्ष बा 400 वर्ष लाई गोरा बा जे कोन ट्राइबल एरिया होतले प्रथम थर से ताको घर पिलाटा आसी हम पाठ पढि दबे. तो इकोसिस्टम रो अभाव रहिथि से जिनटा को आमे मिनिमाइज करि परिबा, डायल्यूट करि परिबा. गोटे जिनस ना ऑक्सीमोरन सिंड्रोम कथा जोटा हम पढिथि ए सर एजुकेशन इन ओडिसा रेफरेंस रे मुने साबेल सर को बहुत पुराना बही 1960s रे से लिखिथिले. गोटे जिनस बोले तो लोक मान को भितरे एबे गोटे नेसेसिटी फील ऑफ नेसेसिटी नेसेसिटी हम भीतर आसलानी जे एजुकेशन को लेके जेते परीक्षा रे गोटे पिला बसुची से चीट करूची कारण ता भीतर गोटे भय अछि जे मु जदी एपेट न करिबी ताहले बे तो मोर लाइफ टा हैम्पर हेइबो बा किछि प्रॉब्लम हो तो फील ऑफ नेसेसिटी जो जिंस इट इज अ गुड थिंग फॉर अस कारण गोटे भल सिंबल आସୁची मोर मेसेज आସୁची जे ट्राइबल सोसाइटी रे आजिकली एजुकेशन रो नेसेसिटी टा को प्राय तो अनुभव करले किंतु हेजिटेशन बहुत गुड़े कारण पाई रहते जेमति कि मास पर मोटे जिंस कोट करी थी जे आईएएस पे पढुଥିବା ପିଲା ମାନଙ୍କୁ ତାଙ୍କ ବାପା ବହୁତ ପ୍ରଶଂସା କରନ୍ତି କିନ୍ତୁ ଯେ ଗୀତ ଲେଖେ ତାକୁ ତ ଶୁଣନ୍ତିନି କାରଣ ଯେ ଗୀତ ଲେଖେ ତାର ଲାଭାସନା ଇନଷ୍ଟ୍ରୁମେଣ୍ଟ ନାହିଁ ଯଦି ଲାଭାସନା ଗୀତ ଲେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଥାନ୍ତା ତାହେଲେ ତା ବାପା କହିଥାନ୍ତା ଯେ କାହିଁକି ଆଇଏଏସ୍ ତୁ ଗୀତ ଲେଖିଲେ ସିନା ଲାଭାସନା ଏମିତି କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ମଜାଳିଆ ଜିନିଷ ଇକୋସିଷ୍ଟମଟା କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ ହବ ଇକୋନୋମିକ୍ ବେସ୍ ଆଉ ଆମର ଇକୋନୋମିକ୍ ବେସ୍ଟା ବହୁତ ଦୁର୍ବଳ ଥିବାରୁ ପିଲାମାନେ ଭାବି ପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ଦ ବେନିଫିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଏଜୁକେସନ୍ बट ସେମାନେ ଭାବିଲେନି ଯେ ନେସେସିଟି ଅଫ୍ ଏଜୁକେସନର ନେସେସିଟିକୁ ହୃଦୟଙ୍ଗମ କରେ ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୁଡ୍ ସିମ୍ବଲ ନଉଛନ୍ତି ବା ଗୋଟେ ଗୁଡ୍ ମେସେଜ ଆମକୁ ଆସୁଛି ଯେ ଆମେ ବି ଯଦି ଚାହିଁବା ତାହେଲେ ବହୁତ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଭାବେ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ନେସେସିଟିଟାକୁ ଆମେ ଯୋଗଦାନ କରିପାରିବା ସାର୍ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ହେଉଛି ବୁମେରାଙ୍ଗ ଇଫେକ୍ଟ ଯୋଉଟା କୁହାଯାଉଛି ବୁମେରାଙ୍ଗ ଇଫେକ୍ଟ କଥା ହେଉଛି ଆମେ ଯୋଉଟା କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଲୋକ ତାର ଉଲ୍ଟା କରୁଛନ୍ତି କାରଣ ଆମର ୱେ ଅଫ୍ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟେସନଟା ବହୁତ हल्का तो हमें चाहते हैं टारगेट बेस्ड एजुकेशन रही पूरा 90% अटेंडेंस दरकार ए दिन छोटा गुडी के हमें डायलॉग करबा ताको कमेबा दैट्स द स्टॉप पाई गोटे टेक्नोलॉजी अछि स्टॉप पाई अर्थ कोन द एबल सारा तो जे द शू वेयर नोस व्हेन द शू पिंचेस कंटाटा चपलर केउ जाय आघात करूची चपल पिंची बा लोकडा जानिबा तब कोरी आमे सर थैंक यू सर ओके तो तेणुकरी आम स्टॉक पाई टेक्नोलॉजी करवा से भितर जो मैंने एबल अच्छी हमें फाइंड आउट करके हमें ट्राइबल पॉकेट्स जो चैलेंजेस रही दूर करवा थैंक यू सर
प्रेजेंटेशन आपन प्रेजेंटेशन आपन बोलथिले ट्राइबल एजुकेशन समय प्रसार करना ताले तार कुछ डिस्कशन करबा बहुत भलो टॉपिक लेछथि भलो प्रेजेंटेशन देथि धन्यवाद सर Thank you. We'll move on to the third presentation of the day, of the session, and she is Akshanksha Parmani. Akshanksha Parmani. And she will be talking about from theory to practice, the case study on teachers' accountability in Economic Model Residential School, Rampilo, Jajpur. Over to Akshanksha Parmani.
Am I visible?
Yes.
Yeah, you are visible and also audible. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, one and all the delegates and resource persons and the participants. My topic is from theory to practice, a study of teachers' accountability in actual schools of OES district. First, we'll discuss about teacher accountability. It involves the instructors being held answerable for their teaching methods and outcomes, promoting instructional quality and aligning curriculum with standards to enhance students' achievement. Teachers in after schools are held accountable for the growth and development of scheduled tribe pupils from diverse backgrounds. The accountability motives teachers to improve their teaching methods, stay updated on the best practices, and engage in more effective teaching, ultimately benefiting students. Actual school teacher accountability measures involve evaluation and observation, providing valuable feedback for professional development. These measures align the curriculum with establishing standards, promoting consistency in teaching. Incentives for high performance such as financial rewards or career advancement can motivate teachers to excel, ultimately benefiting students by focusing on essential skills and knowledge. taking some reviews of related literature. According to Tiwari, the autonomy and accountability of teachers helps to improve the achievement level of the students to a certain level. According to Rao, teachers' professional accountability enhances the effectiveness, competency, and quality of the teaching learning process to achieve academic objectives. According to Postwaller, an increase in teacher accountability improves student achievement as well as teachers are more accountable for professional development and student progress. According to Ramkewati, a clear relationship between teachers' autonomy and learner autonomy and accountability has shifted from teacher to learner. It was also found that teacher autonomy along with learner autonomy leads to lifelong learning. Accountability comes of autonomy. Teachers are accountable for building the desired competency among the learners as well as enhancing student learning. However, the researcher has not found many studies related to teachers' accountability of tribal students. So it is imperative to conduct a study and help from theory to practice a study on teachers' accountability in national schools of Mayurbhanj. The objective of the study are to explore teachers' attitude towards the students of ashram schools. To study teachers' towards ashram schools.
Sorry for the interruption. Could you please straightaway move to the findings of the study?
Okay. So research questions are whether the teachers of the ashram school have a sense of accountability towards learners' level of achievement and teachers' perception towards tribal students of the ashram school. These are the operational definition of key terms. The methodology is taken here is qualitative study and 146 among the 146 ashram schools of Mayurbhanj district, 10 were selected as sample and all the teachers, around 6 teachers are there in one school and the sample constitute of 60 teachers. The tools and techniques are used here are interview schedule and focus group discussion. The result and discussion. Despite sufficient teachers, low student learning outcomes are attributed to frequent absenteeism, mismanagement and negligence by education officials, highlighting a lack of accountability among stakeholders. Ashram school teachers often attain training due to the encouragement and incentives, but lack of understanding of tribal culture and traditions, leading to potential dissatisfaction. Teachers largely perceive tribal people as challenging to educate due to their unique knowledge level, lack of interest in learning, and personal difficulty in achieving educational goals. Teachers frequently take leave, earning their wages, demonstrating a lack of accountability towards learners. However, some duty-bound instructors attend school and study sessions as well as classes regularly. Teachers struggle with student absenteeism due to local festivals, parental involvement, home environment, and lack of support. Teachers visit villages to monitor attendance but often under pressure. The government notification of the examination reveals teachers' lack of accountability, leading to students coping with answers from guidebooks and textbooks, resulting in low earning levels. Teachers often neglect lessons due to students' outdoor activities, claiming no boundary wall or watchman present from the entering and leaving during and after school hours. The conclusion. Indian tribal development is related to the inadequate education, low participation on the part of the learners, cultural differences, language differences among indigenous students with teachers, often unlimited.
Did you finish, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for taking the time. It's a very good presentation. You have highlighted on teacher accountability. I personally feel teacher accountability will lead to students' accountability. It's one of the important dimensions of education. So thank you for selecting this particular field. And now, now we move on to the next presentation. And the next presentation will be by Mr. Satyajit Barar. Are you there, Mr. Satyajit Barar?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Satyajit, please stick to the time, 5 minutes.
Sure, sir.
Would you please switch on your video? Is it possible?
Yes, it's on. It's already on.
No, video is
Am I visible?
No, video is not coming. Your audio is coming. Yeah, now it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you are addressing to your, core department while you are here.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And now I'm presenting my slide. Just a minute. Is it visible, sir?
Could you please avoid showing the slide because it will give time.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, but is it necessary to show the slide?
Sir.
Because it will give time.
Oh, sorry, sir. Actually, I waste so much time to prepare this slide. So, okay.
You share your argument and findings.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Chairperson. Again, good morning, all of you. I am Satyajit Barar, Assistant Professor and PhD Scholar of Department of Education, Faculty of Education and Psychology, the Maharaja Sirajirao University of Baroda. My paper, before I go to the forward, thank you so much, again, thank you so much, Chairperson. My title is the entire the civil rights and pro-national education policy, a transformative approach. So I go, I just highlight the main idea about my paper. Paper explores the transformative potential of the national education policy and empowering the civil rights in India. Basically, this paper focuses the key provision for the civil rights in India for the development of education in a qualitative manner. Highlighted is basically three areas: the inclusive education and the early childhood education, and also the multi-language and with preservation the tribal languages. So basically, the inclusive education actually is already so many efforts before coming the NEP 2020. But in this paper, actually, the NEP 2020 committed how the inclusive education, that means fulfilling the equity and the equality question point of view, for fulfilling the needs of the all learners. And secondly, the provision of multilingualism and the preservation of tribal language. So it's an important thing by emphasized by the NEP 2020 how to preserve the tribal language. And the last provision that is in this paper, special focus on early childhood education. Actually, the early childhood education is the foundation for every child. So in that point of view, basically the concept of social and emotional development is in that time at the crucial period for every child. So in this three provisions, the NEP 2020 emphasized how to enhance the infrastructure in the tribal area. So that point of view, how the tribal region, that means the area, that means the particular domain, the tribal domain, where the students that means we are known about the tribal belt of India. So how to develop the infrastructure enhancement and focusing the other part of through the financial support, the providing so many scholarships to the students, and the next last one is the teacher training is a very crucial part of this physical education. So it's a three major domain the NEP 2020 emphasized, and also the commitment to how to engage the community engagement and other parts of the participation, such like the technological integration, and also how to strengthen our monitoring and evaluation mechanism, that means to achieve our goals, how the empowered people thrive area. So many challenges in this situation actually, physically, geographical remoteness and the shortage of qualified teachers, shortage of qualified teachers in the function, particularly in the tribal region. The teachers are always trained, but how to deliver the lesson, how to engage the students, how to teach the students in a tribal language, that is the main challenges, and also the lack of access. So many things are in India, so particularly the belt of tribal region. But the thing is that so many challenges, actually the lack of access, the students are not accessible because of so many students that drop out randomly and the poor infrastructure and many kinds of situations arise in the particular subject. Because of the tribal lifestyle is different. So, and another challenge is that how to overcome the main obstacle, which is already committed by the government and provided so many things for the people, but the human resources for the education system both try to dedicate how to overcome this situation. That is the main challenges in the scenario, in the present scenario. That is, and another thing is some kinds of updates already reached. And so, that point of view, people are not strengthened. So, the 80-20 commission, how to strengthen that particular approach for this perspective. And the last thing is that the meaningful implementation. So many policies are already there, but we are still that means so many research already has done, and what in this scenario, the 2020 reorient the teachers, reorient the teacher educators, and whole scenario that depends upon the function of the tribal region. So in this scenario, some challenges are there, but we find so many opportunities also there. So in this we emphasize how to preserve the culture of tribal people, how to preserve the linguistic identity of tribal people, and how to the students and the teachers are accessing the remote area, that is the tribal area, how to participate easily accessible. So that's why the technology emphasized by the NEP 2020. And last opportunity that means that if people are monitoring well and evaluate, that means that develop our evaluation system, because people are still follow the traditional method of the evaluation and assessment. So in that point of view, if you are monitoring well and evaluate a new manner, it is the better for the tribal people. So before we conclude, before I conclude, again the thing is that the cultural identity is the main important thing of the tribal people. And the second thing is how to economically empower the tribal people. That is the major thing that. And we already integrate the technology, but still the lack of skill. So that's when people are that means try to emphasize more integration with the technology. And we committed the government policy, but still the research has been that many where we cannot actually fulfill the government commitment. So that is the scenario, and this specific scenario is emphasized basically how the people try to empower through NEP 2020 policy. This is the main thing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr.
You have certainly highlighted on the thematic areas for which the emphasis needs to be given in terms of their cultural identity and also their participation and also monitoring and evaluation process also. And so that speaks volume about the presentation. Thank you very much for your wonderful deliberation. Thank you. Now we'll move on to the next presentation, and she is Nihar Balamachi, and she will be talking about issues and challenges on education of tribal women in India and the constitutional safeguards. Over to Madam Nihar Bala.
Thank you, sir. It's a very good morning to Dr. Manoranjan Pradhan, sir, and all the delegates and chairpersons present here, and the participants. So, before going to start my presentation, I want to share my presentation here. So, is it visible? Hello? Just 1 minute. So now visible?
Yes. No, ma'am, it's not visible, but since we are running out of time, and we have to set the time, could you please go ahead and do the presentation? You can see your slide and you can present.
Okay, sir. Sir, my topic is issues and challenges on education of tribal women in India and the constitutional safeguards. So, when I think about that, about the tribal women, I say that tribal women are the not only tribal women, but the tribal people are the indigenous people. And the scheduled tribe population presents one of the most economically impoverished and marginalized groups in India. Their population is more than 10.2 crores in India. They also constitutes 8.6% of the total population of the country according to the census of 2011. So, according to Professor Amartya Sen, recently emphasized education as an important parameter for any inclusive growth in an economy. So, education is also that it is similarly is true for women. Women are the centers of creation in the world. Women do not even know themselves for which they are created. Women has played a stable and defined role in the society from daughter, sister, wife and mother. So, educational status of the scheduled tribes and the role of governance in this direction are highly essential. Education is an important avenue for upgrading the economic and social condition of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. So, mainly for the scheduled tribes. So, what are the remarkable characteristics of tribes? So, mostly the tribal people that live in the mountains and forest areas. Most of the people of tribes, and they belong to the group of they are the Negritos, Australites, and the Mongolites. They believe in primitive religious practices and ghosts or spirits are worshipped in their religions. They speak their native languages. They are mostly carnivorous. They adopt tribal occupations like a collection of usual natural things, hunting, collection of forest produce, etc. They have special interest in dance and wines. So, what are the literacy rates of tribal women in India? There are mostly 500 tribes as notified under Article 347 of the Indian Constitution. So, the largest number of tribal communities being in the state of Uttar Pradesh. So, about 93% of tribal people live in rural areas and are engaged in agricultural pursuits. So, mostly 10 states like Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, and West Bengal, which they together account for more than 4/5 of the total tribal population in India. The percentage of literacy of tribes was only 8.54% during 1961, which was increased to 47.10% during 2001. But women literacy among tribes is only 34.76 as compared to the male literacy of 59.17. So then, what are the causes of low literacy among the tribals? So
So mostly the non-enrollment, non-attendance and dropouts due to cultural practices and migration for work. Second is the poverty. Then the next is the syllabus not according to the tribal area or environment. Then next is lack of educational institutions in remote tribal areas. Then medium of teaching that is not related to the tribal languages. Then examination system. Then absence of the teachers like the tribal teachers. Then lack of coordination between parents and teachers. Timetable of the school not according to the workload of the tribals. Lack of tribal education policy. Holidays not according to the tribal economy. And no proper implementation of various schemes of educational development. So what are the problems they face? The problems of tribal education. First is the medium of language that already told and discussed by Sina Madam. And that I suggest that the medium of languages that refer to their local languages, their same languages. So the location of the next is the location of the village. Then the economic condition of the tribal people. Then attitude of their parents. That mostly the parents are not sending their child towards the educational institutions because I think they are not having any return through the educational institutions. Most cases they are seen that they are highly educated but they are not getting good job or having no earning sources. So that's why this is the cause. So that's why their parents having negative attitude towards the education. The negative attitude towards school education. Then teacher related problems. Then lack of proper monitoring. Then what are the schemes or programs being implemented by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs of the country? First is the Special Central Assistance to Tribals sub-scheme SCA to TSS. So grants under Article 275 under Section 1 of the Constitution, Ekalavya Model Residential Schools, then granting aid to voluntary organizations working for the welfare of the scheduled tribes, then strengthening education among scheduled tribe girls is in low literacy districts, pre-matric scholarship to ST students, post-matric scholarships to ST students, national overseas scholarships for ST candidates for studying abroad, national fellowship and scholarships for higher education of ST students, national scholarship that top classes scheme to graduate level, then national fellowship for ST students. So in this case I want to say that 750 fellowships are provided to ST students each year for pursuing higher education, higher studies in India for MP and PhD. Fellowship is granted as per UGC norms, presently rupees not only 25,000, actually 25,000 for JRF and for 28,000 for SRF, but actually it is enhanced now. So this percentage of rupees is not continued now, it is enhanced. So I want to come to my conclusion part. So education is the only most important instrument by which individuals and society can improve individual environments, build a level of capacity, overcome obstacles and expand opportunities for continuous improvement in their welfare. It is not only applicable but also for tribal women. In the context of the education of tribal women, the attitudes of tribal should be positive and the government should be revised to get a balance between male person and women. So various steps should be taken to ensure the success of tribal women in the mainstream to that means the schools. The teachers should be assigned tasks to motivate parents can control their daughters in schools, especially parents who are hesitant to do so due to unawareness. So weak financial status and ignorance, parents who focus on religious education only for their daughters need motivation and inspiration. Upgradation of girls' schools in remote tribal areas which are functioning, the utility of primary and secondary schools will not only support the further education of already enrolled girls, but to work as a motive of many girls in the areas where they work in place. So thank you for giving me the chance for online participation. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Just a second, I'm coming back. Thank you, ma'am, for the presentation on tribal education with specific reference to the problems and also the possibilities. So once again, thank you, ma'am. Now, next we can move on to the next presentation. Is Dr. Nimai Charan Malik. Dr. Nimai Charan Malik.
Yes, sir. And a very good morning to one and all present here. Respected chairperson of the diocese present here, respected organizing committee of this seminar, and all my participants. Before going to actually my paper title of the paper is Major Challenges and Problems of Tribal Children for Ensuring Universal School Education. Most of the participants have presented their given their views regarding the education of tribal children. Here my major presentation, I would like to focus mainly what are the major problems of tribal education regarding their universal school education. If we go to some pages of history, we have to know that tribal people the tribals are very. The history said that India was a land of tribals. That means around 50% of the population belongs to tribals, comparing 80% of the population in India. So, particularly tribal languages and cultures have influenced significantly the culture of Odisha, not only the culture of Odisha, but also the culture of India. But the government has done little for the improvement of tribal community, both in Odisha and in India. So, particularly many committee and commissions have given their valuable suggestions for the improvement of the tribal education, like the Renuka Roy Committee 1959, the Major Railway Committee 1966, and the Education Commission 1964. So the Review Committee Program of Action 1992. All these committees have given their recommendation for the improvement of the tribal education. But the planners, they are planning at the central level, but not giving their focus, particularly the improvement of the tribal education. So, particularly the tribal discussion in this platform is what are the major problems of tribal children for their universal education. Particularly, the first problem is socio-economic problems. Particularly the tribal communities in most of the countries, they are very stressful people because they do not have proper source of income. They are unable to fulfill their basic needs like food, proper clothes, purchase, enough shelters. So the condition of their tribes is very poor, and they cannot afford a good food for their children. And they compile to send them to work in child labor, so they could not earn so they could earn some money for their family. This is the socioeconomic condition for which the tribal people, particularly, they are unable to give access school education. So next, that is illiteracy. So illiteracy is also one of the important challenges or problems for universal education. In 1991, particularly, it was from the particularly 18.53% of the so far as illiteracy is concerned, the tribal illiteracy is 8.53% in 1961, and it was increased in 1991 to 29.6%. So, particularly, it is majorly found very low illiteracy, literacy in Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, Kerala, and this state. So, because of why this literacy rate is decreases, because low literacy among tribal people, etc. So next, that is the migration. So another important causes of challenges of education is migration. That is that in tribal areas, particularly children of migrant workers are deprived to basic their child. They are deprived of their basic child rights because of most of the tribal parents they have to go for citadel migration for their learning, particularly their livelihood, and they. Yes, sir. So particularly, I have highlighted a case study regarding migration. The study was conducted by Professor Nikan Pradhan in 2007. Particularly, he was sponsored a case study. Particularly, Professor Pradhan highlighted tribal child migration, whose name is Mongolu Kuta, was living in Longtapu block of Korapu. And he died only 20 years. At this age, he has to bear the learning side of her family. So that's why most of the time he has to visit Kerala for some learning, and there and he is lacked in their education. So this is the scenario why the education of private is decreasing, and why they are not they are coming to the mainstream. So in this connection, I have some government initiatives for the upliftment of the tribal education. Particularly, there are some provisions taken by the government. These are to open Bangladesh Zilla primary schools, to provide book bags in primary schools, to provide the same facility for students of class to attend, particularly to monitor the attendance of the tribal students. Particularly these are the initiatives what the government has taken. Government has to provide the particular tribal. In conclusion, I have to conclude here that besides these major problems, the government should have to take have to give this major focus, particularly using both tribal and state language during the primary and primary level, creating supplementary tribal relevant learning material, introducing monetary, non-monetary initiatives for tribal students and addressing the health and educational needs of tribal children and improving the community participation by training the tribal teachers and youth. In participation and the major discussion of the day of my discussion.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation on you have highlighted a couple of suggestions also. Thank you once again. Now we'll move on to the next presentation, and he is Mr. Ramakrishna Das, who will be talking about constitutional provision programs and schemes for the education of scheduled tribe children in India. Over to Mr. Ramakrishna Das. Mr. Ramakrishna Das, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Namaskar to one and all. Honorable Chairperson, respected HOD VDU Teacher Education.
Please switch on your video. Is it possible?
Sir, it is not possible. Can I go without video?
Please go ahead. No issue.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Respected all delegates who are present on online as well as offline. Respect dear students, media persons. I am thankful to the department. Vikram, the University Teacher Education Department, for giving an opportunity to speak about the topic. My topic is constitutional provisions programs for schedule and scheme in India. So first of all, let us understand who are scheduled tribes. The Constitution of India, Article 366 clause 25 prescribes that scheduled tribe means tribes or tribal communities as are deemed under Article 342 of the Constitution to be scheduled tribe. Now, the question comes, what are the essential characteristics for a community to be identified as scheduled tribe? According to the local committee which was established in 1965, the essential characteristics are integration of primitive traits, distinctive culture, silence of contact with the community at large, geographical isolation, backwardness. So these are the characteristics under which we can describe a tribe into a scheduled tribe. So there are so many provisions made in government from the time to time. So let us first understand what are the provisions made. First, we will go to the educational and cultural safeguard of scheduled tribes. Article 15 plus 4 says special provisions for advancement of the backward classes, which includes STs. Article 29 says protection of interest of minorities, which also includes STs. Article 46 says that states shall promote special care, educational and economic interest of weaker section of the people. It's a responsibility of the state, which also includes STs. Article 350 says right to consider distinctive language, script and or culture. These are the educational and cultural safeguard. Let us move on to the political safeguard. Political safeguard, Article 330 says reservation of 4 STs in Lok Sabha. Article 332 says reservation of seats in STs in state legislature. Article 243 says reservation of seats in Panchayat. And let us move on to administrative safeguard. Article 275 says it provides grant special fund of union government to the state government for promoting the for providing the better administration. So, what are the recent remedies or what are the recent initiatives are taken for scheduled tribe by Government of India? First one is TribeCredit. Second one is digital transformation of tribal schools. Third one is development of particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Fourth one is Pradhan Mantri Wan Dhan Yojana and Ecolabio model residential schools. Now, let us discuss what are the problems faced by, although government has taken so many initiatives, but we are facing, tribals are facing so many problems. So let us discuss one by one. First one is lack of education. Because of lack of education, that is a major area. And in the education sector, we are also facing the infrastructure problem. So if infrastructure problem is a concern, next one is most of the tribal education programs are designed in official or regional language which are aligned to the tribal students. Means we have to focus on their own language so that it will be easy for them to understand the things and to understand the concept so that they can excel in the education field. Second one is displacement and rehabilitation. The displacement because of any company or any other power plant or maybe a steel plant which are coming. For that, the tribals are getting displaced. So the reason the tribal pockets of Chotnagpur region, Odisha, West Bengal, and Madhya Pradesh are suffered most in this connection. Next, next problem we are facing on health and nutrition due to not the proper having medical facilities or proper nutrition. They are facing so many problems. So these are the problems what we are facing by the tribals. There are so many, but I have focused one, two or three. So what are the initiatives that we have to take for empowering tribals of India, tribes of India? We have to focus on their healthcare facilities and healthcare facilities is the first priority, and improve the food and nutrition facilities and employment and income generation. The major concern is employment and income generation, but what we can say is that the tribals have rich culture, rich identity, and their painting, their medicinal plants and all. These are the things they have. If proper research will be done on them, and if at all we are able to expand skills, that will help them to for income generation, and that will create employment. So these are what I have focused, and in conclusion, I can say one more thing that day by step by step we are improving, taking initiative, and we are reflecting in day-to-day scenario. We can see so many tribal girls or so many tribal boys are well placed in different government sectors. They are working well, and let us not forget that tribal constitutes 0.85% in Odisha, and in India the percentage is 8.6%. Let us unite together to enhance the tribal education, to enhance the